Welcome back. New York City Mayor Eric Adams just now announcing plans to slash city funding to migrants. Fox Business's Madison Allworth is live at Randall's Island in New York City. Okay, so he's calling these cuts. Tell me more about what he says he's cutting.
Yeah, absolutely, Brian. So the Adams administration has announced that they've been able to cut 30% of spending within migrant spending. And because of that, they are now no longer doing additional financial cuts to city services. So to remind everyone, the city cut 10% of budget to city services like trash, senior services, libraries, etc. They were expecting to do another 5% cut this spring. Adams administration announcing today that's no longer necessary because of better than expected budget. Part of that better than expected budget, thanks to things like cuts of 30% within migrant spending. Now, part of that migrant spending adjustment includes new programs like the controversial prepaid debit cards that are going out in a pilot program to the migrant population. In that program, the Adams administration saying they're going to be able to save money, saving the city $7.2 million. But critics say it's going to cost taxpayers a lot more than advertised. And that's because the program doesn't add up. So 500 people will get $1,000 a month. That's $6 million for 1 year. That's a lot less than the $53 million set aside for this program. There are concerns around how much of that money is going to go to the contractor, Mobility Capital Finance, who got this contract in a non-competitive, no-bid deal.
Contract is written very poorly, not clear if that's by accident or on purpose, but it could potentially end up costing billions of dollars and be a program that gives out debit cards to the 70,000 migrants in the city's care right now.
So the pilot program has not started yet, but there are already talks of expanding it if things go well. Critics doubt the preloaded debit cards will be used correctly in a population with no legal identity and therefore no fraud control. There's also concerns that the program will be exploited by bad individuals and by gang members who we know already work within these groups. Brian?
That program has more holes than a slice of Swiss cheese, Madison, for sure. Thank you for that report.
All right, joining us now to react, Florida Congressman Byron Donalds is here. Congressman, great to have you on the program today. I want to get your reaction to Madison's report and Mayor Adams' 180, let's call it, with respect to taking city services away to fund the migrants. Now he's gotten a lot of bad press about that, and he's reversing the headline. Although if you start to dig through it, you see this is kind of government math that doesn't necessarily add up. Still, it points to a bigger issue that we've got here, which is a migrant crisis that isn't going away. And we seem a little stuck in Congress with respect to finding some sort of resolution. We've still got another year under Joe Biden. It feels like the country can't afford to wait to make a change.
Well, look, it's good to be with you. I think what you're seeing in New York is emblematic of what you're seeing all across the country. Every city in our country is overrun by this illegal immigrant crisis caused by Joe Biden. We now have 7.3 million encounters at the southern border. We're on track to have 10 million encounters during one presidential administration. This has never happened in American history, not even close. It's a catastrophe, and I don't care what your politics are. It is a man-made political disaster brought to us by Joe Biden and the Democrat Party. So in New York, they can now say that they're going to now reverse course and not give social services to illegal immigrants. But the reality is that the Democrat Party realizes how terrible of a policy this has become, and they're trying to place blame and change the subject. In the House and in Congress overall, look, there is no solution because the Democrats do not want to change. They've wanted this policy for 30 years. Now they got this policy. And so my position and a growing number of Republicans, our position is simply there will be no money until you secure the border. You secure the border, then we'll talk about funding the government and other issues.
Let's talk about the border, Congressman. What are these military-aged Chinese men doing sneaking up through our southern border?
They got no business in our country, except if you really want to take a step back and think from a diabolical perspective that, yes, the Chinese government is moving people into our country. Yes, people in the Middle East are moving military-age men into our country. But they have no place here. There's no persecution that's going on that they can document. That's why asylum is supposed to happen outside of our country before you come in, unless it's something that is clear and present that everybody in the world can see. And then, of course, we make special exemptions when those things occur. But like I said at the top, the Democrat Party overall, they have wanted this policy. They have been lying to the American people for years, gaslighting the American people about southern border security and immigration overall. And now that it's a problem for all of our citizens, now you see the polling shift dramatically away from Joe Biden and the Democrats into support of Donald Trump and the Republican position, which is secure the border first, then take care of everything else after that.
All right. Well, lots of exciting stuff to keep our eye on. Saturday is the next stop in South Carolina. Congressman Donald, great to have you today. Thanks.